Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is VirtualNunchucks. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to re-record this because there was audio issues in the last one. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at physical versus digital. There's a great debate still raging thanks to PS5's reveal. We're going to get a digital copy or a digital console and a physical console yet again. We had one this generation with the Xbox One S and of course the Xbox One. So that brings up the debate of what is better, physical or digital copies of games. And we're going to look at both, and I'm going to try to stay as neutral and as objective as I possibly can. We're going to look at the positives and the negatives of both sides. Now, you, as a consumer, you get to decide what you're going to do. It's your money and your life. But we're going to talk about it, and then I'm going to give you my opinion because that's what this is. This is an opinion piece. So please, if you disagree, that's fine, wonderful. We can talk about it in the comment section below. But just remember, this is my opinion, and that's all it is. Okay? Alright, so let's talk about it. First, we'll start with the digital things. First, we'll talk about the positive things that digital allows you to do. Digital allows you to have unlimited storage as long as you are well, as long as the servers are up for PlayStation, as long as you have access to your library, you can download any copy you want to of any game, and you can have unlimited number. Right now, I have 183 physical, or excuse me, 183 digital games, which is hard to believe. I didn't think I bought that many, but I did. And so I have quite a few digital copies, including the game you're seeing on the screen. I bought a digital copy of Modern Warfare because I wanted to be able to review it for you guys on day one. And the only way that I really could get it on day one and have it available on that launch day was to get a digital copy because I am physically unable to drive. Digital sometimes is easier for me because I can just buy it, download it, and it's there on release day, and I don't have to worry about asking somebody to take me to the store or finding public transit or whatever, and then buying a disc, coming home, installing it and all that kind of stuff. It's just there, and that's very convenient. I don't have to worry about shelf space. I don't have to worry about, you know, uh, discs getting scratched. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is kind of cool. I just pay my $60, download the game, and I'm good. Um, and again, that's pretty cool. A lot of times when you buy a physical, or rather a digital console, they tend to be less expensive than the physical media consoles. So you can, and sometimes they're smaller depending on the company. So you can save shelf space for the physical console that has to be there. Um, but you know, it's pretty cool. You know, uh, when you, as long as the internet's working, you can play, and that's cool. Sometimes, but really, let's just think about this for a minute. That's what you get. You get the convenience. You get the convenience of not having to go to the store. You get the convenience of saving money on gas. You get the convenience of having unlimited storage space for your games. Okay, um, but they still cost the same. Still cost $60, $80, depending on the editions you buy. And what are you getting for that? Here's the downside of digital. You don't own any of those things. You are paying for a license to use that game for as long as PlayStation or Microsoft or whoever has the rights to let you purchase that game. It used to be, and they've changed somewhat. Digital rights have changed somewhat. For example, I'll give you an example of what I mean. Used to be, if you bought a digital copy of a game and you had it on your hard drive, as long as you had it on your hard drive, you're good. Okay? But as soon as you remove it from your hard drive, if that company lost the rights to distribute that game or anything like that, you could no longer get that game back. You couldn't. It was no longer in your library. It wouldn't appear on your account at all because they couldn't distribute it anymore, and you were out of luck. You had to go find a physical copy at GameStop or wherever you buy your game from, Amazon, whatever. Um, so it's changed somewhat. I give an example what I mean. Um, PlayStation Plus offered some time back Transformers Devastation as a PS Plus title, and I love the Generation 1 Transformers. I grew up with them, and it was cel shaded, and it was Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, so hey, why not, right? So I downloaded it, I've played it, and I took it off my PlayStation because I needed the disk space for other things, and I took it off my PlayStation. Activision has since lost the license for Transformers. They can no longer distribute that game anywhere digitally on any platform. So if you go looking for that right now, you cannot purchase it. It's not possible to purchase. They did change the rules that say if you've purchased it already, you can keep it in your library as long as PlayStation or Xbox is around. So as long as the apocalypse doesn't happen, you still have access to Transformers Devastation in your library. Cool. That's awesome. At least I can still play it if I want to. Um, but if the apocalypse happens and PlayStation and Xbox cease to exist, the internet goes down, I have no games. If I have a brand new shiny digital console, it's just a paperweight at that point. Because the internet's down, because PlayStation and Xbox don't exist anymore. Now I know that's a what if scenario, but let's bring it down to a little bit more real. You can't trade those. You can't resell those. So once you buy them, let's say you buy something and because your friends are like, yeah, this is a great game, you need to play it. So you buy it. And then you find out you hate it. You can't take it back. You can't get a refund. A lot of times, PlayStation's digital refund, I think it's 10 days, and you have to have only played it for a certain amount of time. And let's be real, a lot of times we play them until we're done with them, and then we say, that was a bad game. Let's go get rid of it. I don't want it anymore. Let me get my money back. You can't do that anymore. You also can't give it as a gift. And a lot of times digital copies, you can't really give digital copies as a gift. You have to give a gift card to your person you're giving a gift to and say, hey, go get this. This is what I bought. And then of course they may or may not, but that's okay. That part of it's okay. But here's the problem: if you buy DLC, which is still digital content, right? Digital or downloadable content. You sometimes will buy a digital content for a game. For example, my son bought Steep, and because he bought Steep, he got some money for his birthday or Christmas or something, or I don't remember how, but he wanted to buy some downloadable content that he saw because he likes the game, and he said, "Can we purchase it?" And seeing as how he's a minor, I said sure. So I jumped on the PlayStation Store. I bought the content he wanted, and then I found out after buying it, after talking to Sony, that that digital content is locked to my account. So I can play the digital content all day long, but his account, even though it's a family account, he can't touch it. I can't share that content with him. I had to repurchase it for him on his account. That's a problem. Some games are permitted to share content. For example, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, you can share content with your family accounts. Like my son, myself, my wife can play all the DLC we want. Okay, but some companies don't do that. EA doesn't do that. Ubisoft, some games they do. Some games, a lot of games they don't. So there's a problem with that. Okay. So we have some positives to digital, which, like I said, it's storage space and convenience and all that good stuff. It's all good. But then, like I said, you can't trade it. You can't get your money back. You can't sometimes share the content between your accounts and your house. Uh, and let's be honest, sometimes that's something else we talk about. You're beholden to Xbox or Microsoft Store. You're beholden to PlayStation Store. So you pay whatever they're offering as far as price goes. So you might pay $60. You might pay, depending on your edition, you might pay $80. You might pay whatever. But uh, if they don't have a sale on those games, you're going to pay full price on those games a lot of the time. To this day, you can still go um, and get Assassin's Creed Origins Gold Edition for, I think it's like, I forget, it's definitely $80, maybe even more than that. Okay, and how old is that game? We've had at least one release since then. Um, but they keep their price for a long, long time. And sometimes they bring down the prices for different sales and things, which is cool. But I can still go to GameStop and um, or Target or Walmart or something and find bargain bins of games that and a lot of times they're good games for like $6, $10 after they've been out for a while. Prices go down on physical goods because they want to move the shelf space. They want to clear it out so they can put other things there. That doesn't really happen very much on the physical side, or on the digital side. I'm sorry. So there's a problem with that. Okay, so let's talk about physical media. Physical media, you gotta have shelf space. Um, if you don't have shelf space, you gotta start getting rid of games or movies or whatever you happen to have in your house. But and you have to spend the money on gas. You have to go physically pick it up, physically bring it home, put it in your drive. Sometimes download a patch that takes hours on PlayStation 5, especially, or 4, especially. PSN right now is a joke when you download stuff. It takes hours to do. Um, so that's a pain. Uh, but the flip side of that is, um, you know, I own it. Okay. Yes, it stinks because you have to make sure the disc is protected. If they get scratched really, really bad, they won't play right. You have to have that. Whereas digital, as long as it'll download and there's no data corruption, you're good. You can play it all day and it won't skip on you. It won't freeze on you. They still crash sometimes. But, you know, if it gets scratched, a physical copy has to be replaced. You know, if it breaks in half, if you're playing frisbee with it and it breaks, you got to replace it. But you own it. See, I'm not paying a digital license fee to own that. When I buy it, they hand me a physical copy of a disc. I have the disc in my hand. I take it home. It's mine to do with. If I want to lend it to my brother who's never played it and say, "Hey, check this game out. See if you like it. If you do, go pick it up." Uh, I can sell it. If I'm done with these games, I can sell them and I can make a little bit of money off of them and put that towards something else or whatever I want to do. Um, I can I can you know I can rent them out if I'm a store that does that, rents movies and stuff like that. Kind of sort of not available too much anymore, but you can do it, okay? Because it's yours. You own it. You can lend it out to people. You can do that. Um, if I want the dog to chew on it, if it's my choice to give her, it is a chew toy. If I want to play frisbee with it, whatever it is, I own it. I can do it. I physically own that. I bought it. It's mine. It's my property. I can do with the disc or whatever that I want. I want to read you guys a definition of purchase. Okay, that is according to Webster and according to my business professors. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna share that with you real quick. A purchase means you take possession of a given asset, property, item, or right by paying a predetermined amount of money for the transaction to be completed successfully. In other words, it's an exchange of money for a particular good or service. Okay? But here's the crazy part. It's a given asset, property, item, or right. Okay, and that's where they get you. That's where all the digital things, that's where the digital argument comes from. You are purchasing a right to use our stuff. But they're forgetting that a lot of time people immediately, because this is the way the world works, if I purchase something, it's mine. I have a right because it's my property, it's my item, it's my whatever. I gave you money, it's mine now. Well, they forget that one particular part a lot of times, and that's how the companies get you. No, you purchased this, you agreed to pay this amount of money for this right to use this thing. Whereas a lot of times if I purchase something, I want to physically have it. I want to physically own it. I want it to be mine to do with what I want. I want to be able to trade it. I want to be able to sell it. I want to be able to throw it against the wall if I want. Okay, that's crazy, but it's just showing you what I mean. You can do with what you want with something that you purchase and that is physically yours. Okay. Um, yeah. And on top of that, like I said, you can go to a store. Let's say I want Modern Warfare. Okay. Um, it's it's been almost a year now. Game's been out for a while. I can go to Target. I can go to Walmart. I can go to GameStop or even Amazon. Find a physical copy for way less than $60. But if I go on uh, PlayStation Store right now, it's $60, $80, whatever edition you want to purchase. That's kind of nuts. And the more we lean towards the digital side of that, those sales will eventually go away because they'll be like, well, it doesn't matter. They have to get their games from us, so we don't have to sell. We can sell them however we want to. So the sales will eventually stop. Because if you're tied into Xbox or if you're tied into PlayStation and that's how you get your games, then they can sell it to you for whatever they want to, and as long as you want to play it and pay that, they'll do it. Okay. Anyway, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be out of my mind, and I expect that you guys will let me know that in the comment section below. But it's it's a big deal because people have been debating this for a long time since they started digital storefronts, and now it's going to continue to be a big thing this generation because we have two different console versions for the PS5, digital and physical. And I'm sure at some point in time, Xbox may follow suit. I don't know for sure, but it is a possibility. And so the debate will rage on. Um, and I even saw somebody on Twitter, I think it was. So now, when are we going to revisit the idea of ownership of digital products? Well, it's probably not going to happen, at least for a long time, unless somebody gets tired of it and then takes somebody to court, and the Supreme Court has to decide that because that's how that's going to work. Until then, they're going to use that right to use the service as their get out of jail free card. Okay, because that's where they get you. If you don't believe me, go back and read some of your in-user agreements that you have. I know it's boring. I know it's monotonous and sometimes confusing to read, but read it slowly and you'll understand what you're given the right to for a digital copy. Okay? Um, but like I said, I could be crazy. Just let me know in the comment section below what you guys are going to do, digital or physical this year, this time around for this generation coming up. I think I'm going to go physical because I'm just a dinosaur that way. I want to own my stuff. Plus, I want to be able to play my movies that I already own instead of having to find another thing to stick on my shelf. I'd rather just have one thing for my Blu-ray or whatever and my games. My consoles are my entertainment center, basically, my media center, because I use it for movies, I use it for games, I use it for everything. So anyway, that's my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget to turn on the notification bell and subscribe, because every Monday through Friday we do content on this channel, whether it's news, opinion pieces, news, comma, opinion pieces, gameplay, or reviews of the latest and greatest games coming out. Speaking of which, we're going to do a review of Ghost of Tsushima, coming out on July 17th. So stick around for that if you want to see that. Don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook.com/VirtualNunchucks, where I am most of the time. Is Twitter, though, at VNunchucks. And of course, here on YouTube is my main focus. But I do have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/VirtualNunchucks. Hope you guys have a great day. And I look forward to reading your comments and let me know what you guys are going to do. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. I appreciate your support. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.